Welcome to the Digital Weather Desk powered by CenturyNext Bank. What's next for you? Visit cnext.bank for more. Happy Thursday as you take a look at I-20 this morning. It is a little early for us to be running into too many traffic issues at 7:13. Again, joining you a smidge earlier than normal. I am speaking at Coffee and Conversations at Tower Place, part of the Monroe Chamber of Commerce, one of their events that they put on monthly. Joining you smidge early so I can go be over there at 8. Thanks so much for taking time out of the day. This morning's forecast made possible by Flying Tiger Brewery and Pizza Bar. Go swing by. I believe they've got some live music. Jackson Culp's going to be there either tonight or... Let me look it up. I don't want to lie. Tomorrow night, 9 to midnight. $10 cover. Normal operating hours today, so go check them out. I-20 moving smoothly. It is cold to start the day. 24 in El Dorado, 25 in Camden, 31 in Monroe, 34 in Natchez. Most of us are below freezing to start the day. Good morning, Miss Bonnie. I hope you're having a wonderful start to the day as well. We're looking for upper 40s to near 50 degrees today, but as I look at the forecast lows, we're running kind of in step with where we expected to be. Natchez is running a smidge warmer than I initially thought they would be this morning. El Dorado's running a smidge colder, and Monroe's pretty much running right where we expected to be this morning. Dew point's quite dry in the upper teens to low 20s. Check of the wind speeds, they're calm or fairly light out of the north and northwest. As we go through the day, expect those winds to generally stay fairly light as high pressure moves right over the top of us, and then those winds become more southerly and southwesterly and should keep a lot of areas at least somewhat warmer overnight, or is not as cold is probably the best way to describe it. Janet and Jan, good morning to you as well. A check of the infrared satellite. There's not a whole lot to talk about out there. There's plenty of sunshine. We got the last of the clouds out of here last night. Made us good morning to you as well. The radar is always made possible by Brown's Roofing. Schedule your free roof inspection, commercial or residential, at brownsroofingla.com. No rainfall across our area. You see some snow across portions of the Northeast. We'll get to the snow chances, well, I guess right now. Futurecast made possible by Bayou Power Sports. I-20 frontage road in Monroe shows that cold front, the next cold front pushing through the area on Friday. And I meant to put some pauses in here, so let's just kind of go back and we'll do that on the fly. So here, as we go through the daytime hours on Friday, you see our next cold front approaching during the midday hours on Friday. It's not going to really cool us off. You can see temperatures generally top out in the low 60s tomorrow afternoon. That boundary passes on through the area. Maybe a straight shot at a sprinkle or some cloud cover across central and southern Mississippi. Clouds gather ahead of this secondary piece of energy that we've been talking about. And what you'll notice with the Futurecast, where it was trying to generate snow across our region yesterday, it is noticeably drier and also noticeably warmer. So the cold air kind of lagging behind a smidge, and it really doesn't bring any of that changeover to snowfall until you get along the Gulf coastline, and that's well into early Sunday morning as the colder air and the moisture kind of catch up to one another, and still insists on some wacky snow potential along the Gulf coastline. Whether we can really believe that or not, that's a matter of some conjecture. So that's one computer model that's went back to, no snow. Here's a look at the GFS, which is the American model, and it still tries to bring something through. Very brief, very light, but it's still insistent on trying to develop something in our area. So look at the upper levels of the atmosphere, and we've been talking about this for the last couple of days, kind of setting the stage for this potential. And the upper level winds, you got to make sense of it in all levels of the atmosphere. And you can see that as we go into the day on Saturday, it's this deeper trough of low pressure after our front that moves through the area on Friday. And the frontal positioning and how deep and strong this trough for this secondary piece of energy is as it moves through the region has a strong bearing on what we can expect in terms of any accumulated moisture. Again, the air is very dry as it continues to, the colder air moves in. It sinks and it's very dry in the environment. And that's just physically how cold air is. So now you've got to find some kind of moisture source, whether you overrun it over this cold air mass from subtropical moisture, whether you get some Gulf moisture. You've got to find it somewhere. You can't just conjure it up out of thin air. And so as we go through the daytime hours on Saturday, I think the better moisture source really comes late Saturday, early Sunday for neighbors to the south and east. The Gulf Coastline, Alabama, Georgia, the Tennessee Valley, those folks probably still have the best chance of seeing any kind of significant snow event in our area, in the region. Good morning, May. But for our area, I really do think we trend. It's going to be hard-pressed to have any kind of moisture left over to develop that potential. So here's a look at Futurecast through Sunday morning. Remember yesterday, this was the worst-case scenario. I didn't change this lineup of the graphic sequence because I wanted to kind of give us, if you watched yesterday's live stream, the last 2 live streams, and then you watched this morning, I wanted to show the exact same data in the exact same order. So you could kind of see how those trends have changed. This was the worst case scenario yesterday. Up to 1 inch of snow in Natchez, 1/2 inch of snow along the I-20 corridor and southward. Today, nothing. The GFS model, the American model, continues to hint at very light snow potential across the entire region. But it's very, very light. And it also should be noted that the GFS model has been terrible for the last several weeks and the last couple of months. So trying to listen to this computer model is like, a scorned ex-lover coming back into your life and being like, hey, I've changed. And you're like, he's changed, you'll see. And then, 2 weeks later, you're like, what am I doing? So this is where we are. PV, good morning to you. So if you really want to take the GFS, which again has been terrible for the last couple weeks and months, and you want to go, hey, this is my forecast, then good luck to you, because again, going to be hard pressed to really take that with what it's been giving us. Stan, good morning to you as well. Now here's the interesting wrinkle. This is the NBM, which is the National Blend of Models, which is kind of a post-produced product that uses a bunch of different model data and kind of weighs it together and uses climatology, and it uses a lot of different things to help kind of produce this product that helps forecast the weather. Now, this is an interesting wrinkle in the whole forecast because it actually does bring snowfall along and south of the I-20 corridor, while most of the data continues to kind of ebb and flow back. It at least advertises the possibility. So again, it's a wrinkle in the forecast. Here's what we call the snow pops, the probability of snowfall, the probability of precipitation, but just talking about snow. And those probabilities are higher than they were yesterday evening. Now we've gone from 6% to 8% in Monroe. We've gone from like 4% to 10% in Ruston. And El Dorado's gone up to 10%. So it's something worth noting. By late Saturday night into Sunday morning, those snow pops, if you will, probabilities of precipitation go up to about 20% across the Highway 84 corridor, Gina, Natchez, Alexandria, a lot of these areas, up to 20% chances. And again, this is all based on that national, that NBM, that blend of model data that I was just telling you about. So in turn with this, I've also bumped up the snow chances for Saturday night in the southern parishes and counties up to 20%. So if you hop over to digitalweatherdesk.com or to the app and you're in the southern parishes and counties and you look up your forecast and you go, oh, it went from 10% to 20%. Yeah, I tweaked that this morning. Daytime highs today near 50 degrees, plenty of sunshine. Winds will be out of the north-northwest. Lows tonight, mid-30s. Again, the winds return to the south, and even though they're expected to be fairly light, they will be persistent through the overnight. So a lot of us will fall into the low to mid-30s pretty quickly tonight by around 10, 11, midnight, somewhere in that ballpark, and then just stay there. Maybe even climb a few degrees on the back of those southerly winds as we go through the rest of the morning hours on Friday. Ken, good morning to you as well. Look at the 7-day forecast made possible by 3B Hardware. Quickly warmer on Friday. Again, low 60s. We work a cold front through the region. Breezy and chillier. I was going to say chillier and cooler at the same time. But chilly and cool as we go into the day on Saturday. Still probably seeing daytime highs near 50 degrees on Saturday afternoon. And then temperatures fall after that into the 40s on Sunday, well below freezing for a couple of mornings into the early parts of next week. And again, light snow, Evening flurries, not out of the realm of possibilities. Again, those precip chances really haven't budged much for Saturday evening. For at least a good chunk of the area. They have gone up to 10% across southern Arkansas and our northern portions of our coverage area. They've stayed at 10% along the I-20 corridor, and they've gone up to 20% in the southern parishes and counties. So if you're looking for what has changed in the forecast, that's what's changed. You can always check it out at digitalweatherdesk.com and on the app. Too Long Didn't Read set to release at 9:30 this morning. I'll join you with a midday stream. We'll completely refresh all of this data. We'll get a new suite of model data, if you will, so we'll get to completely revamp the forecast. So you snow lovers, if you're still holding on to that little bit of hope, we will completely revamp the forecast going into midday. I'll join you later today as well. Fishing game later tonight as well. So a full slate of content on this Thursday. I'm headed over to Tower Place after we drop the kid off to go speak. And so wish me luck. Thanks so much for stopping by the Digital Weather Desk, powered by CenturyNext Bank. I'll check in with you in a couple hours.